That's up next week's action in the Skills Challenge. Last year's point champion Brad Angelo and last year's Player of the Year Mika Kwebunemi in El Paso, Texas. So the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge, here is how things stand. Couch and Kretzer in the round of 8. Tony Reyes, Chris Barnes will go at it as well. The round of 16 continues Sunday. Brian Voss waiting for the winner of Brad Angelo and Mika Kwebunemi. Michael Hagman Jr. Parker Bohn III through already, as we saw Parker, who is 2-0 all-time on TV against his opponent coming up, Norm Duke. That includes a 99 Japan Cup title match won by 1 pin. A match of the heavyweights coming up.
Ugh, my feet ache.
Yeah, great crowd support. Mika Kwebunemi has defeated Mike Lechuga, who continues his bid for his first ever title. Mika will take on either Parker Bohn III or Norm Duke, and they are joined now by Randy Peterson.
Dave, I kind of feel like the meat filler in the middle of the greatness sandwich. 50 titles between these two outstanding players. Parker Bohn, I'll start with you. When you hear the name Parker Bohn, it's synonymous with winning. However, it's been 50 events since your last title. What is your mindset like today?
When I get done today, it'll be 50 events before the next title.
Okay, fair enough. Good luck, Parker. Thank you. Norm Duke, 3 out of the last 4 tournaments, you've made the televised finals. However, you're still looking for your first win of the season. How do you get it done?
Well, I have to beat Parker Bohn. I mean, he's one of the greatest players I've ever watched, and so I have my work cut out for me, believe me.
Good luck, Norm. Thank you.
Thank you now.
Dave Ryan, keep in mind that Norm Duke has never beat Parker Bohn on television.
Partner, you're right about that, 0-2. We'll see if that changes. And we're joined by Tom Candiotti, 16-year Major League Baseball pitcher with a lot of teams, known very well for your knuckleball and also now for your bowling. Commissioner's exemption, Candy, this week, so it had to be very exciting for you to compete. What was it like to be out there with the PBA bowlers?
It's pretty amazing stuff. The way these guys are, they don't get enough credit as being athletes. And I tell you what, the way these guys go out there and the way they throw, I mean, it's just mind-baffling how good they really are.
Well, Tom, you finished 64th out of 64, but you were out there competing, the most important thing. And as we'll talk about, quite a bit of interaction with bowlers like Parker Bohn III. Has a difficult split to deal with to get things going. Wow. 6, 8, 10 are up. Split conversion rates for the Hall of Famer. Under 56% this week.
And Parker Bohn's ball reaction and warm-ups looked horrible.
With a spare ball. Oh my goodness. Whips on all 3 pins, trying to kick perhaps the 6 into the 10, get a little bit of the 8.
Remember last night he told us that he was drilling a new spare ball just for today because he had problems with his grip and his old spare ball.
She had a lot of warm-up tosses this morning with that spare ball, more than the other guys I was noticing.
Back to Norm Duke. Great start for him. As we check out the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup, Randy, for this Hall of Fame type matchup today.
And only one number you need to be concerned with, and that's this number right here. Parker Bohn III, 11 pins a game, higher average. Especially on a difficult pattern like this, Tom. I bowled the 14-game qualifier. I bowled with Parker, and he struck a whole bunch. But keep in mind what Norm Duke has done in this state of Arizona.
He likes the desert. Just a little bit light off the hand at a 10-pin. We're with Tom Candiotti, longtime Major League Baseball pitcher, now trying his hand at some golf. You know that. Your collectibles, and, of course, some bowling, too.
I'll tell you, one of the things that I really noticed in the qualifier was how the conditions changed drastically about 3.5 games, 3 games into it, where everybody was really swinging the ball instead of going right up the outside. So sometimes that average could be a little deceiving after all that qualifying that's going on.
That's a 10-pin there.
Can I get a napkin?
Reaction out of the footwork, perhaps. Tom,
Thank you, my friends.
Your wife, Donna, your 2 sons, Clark and Casey, hosting some bowlers, we understand, this week. They're the boys right there. Casey on the right here. And congratulations to you and your wife, Donna. 12 years, I believe, your anniversary today?
12 years she's put up with me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
Wow. So Parker gets some help on the 7. You hosted a few bowlers at your house this week. Who stayed over?
Well, we had Chris Barnes, of course, was staying over, and along with Mike Wolf and Brian Smith. Walter Ray had a few visits by last night to eat dinner with Mika and Mike Scroggins, too. I was a little nervous with Mika because he's got a big piece of steak in his gut, and I know the day after I eat a piece of steak, I can't pitch, so...
We'll see if the Caniati home-cooked meal will affect Mika at all. He won one match already, so far so good on that, Ken. Perfect ball, Parker Bohn the third, rebounding after a disastrous start. And Candy, you know from being a big league pitcher, sometimes you walk a hitter early, maybe a leadoff hitter, give up a home run, you got to rebound quickly. That's what Parker's done after the tough start here.
You really do. You really have to snap yourself right back into it and get to that focus level as quick as you can. Because you can let that thing just go right by, and next thing you know, you're all over the place. So that's so critical in bowling, is that concentration level.
Lane level look from our crew. You saw it hooking right into the pocket. 10 pin for Norm.
I told you you'd see Norm hooking the whole lane today, and he is. Because of that entry angle, though, down the lane, it's a lot sharper coming into the pocket, and you run the risk of leaving the ringing 10.
Very interesting to see Norm with such a big hook, Randy. We haven't seen that a lot. Most of his matches on TV.
Well, you haven't seen him do that a lot, like over the last 3 or 4 years. But
yeah.
You know what? He's been working on it. He said his hook game is getting better and better each week.
218.30 average, 12-4 match play record. Remember, brand new format this year. 14 games of qualifying. The round of 64 now to get to the round of 32. Then it's best out of 7 match play. From that point on, sweep of Robert Smith. And our Masters winner, Danny Wiseman, down in 7 games.
Those 14 games are not easy, believe me. I had to ice the next day, so I haven't done that in a while.
Exactly. Learn about that, Kenny, don't you? Late help ball down for Norm Duke.
Tom, I bowled the pre-tournament qualifier. That was 9 games, and then another 14. I was 23 into it by the time I was finished. Do you see Norm trying to get this ball to turn up just a little bit harder on that left lane? Carries a nice wally hit. But yeah, I'll tell you what, 23 games in 2 days. I don't care how old you are. That's a bunch of games. A lot of bowling.
Then you got some stretching going on. There's a lot to it.
Really hurry. Late help on a ball looked a little bit light. And speaking of baseball here, and home of the Arizona Diamondbacks is a Bob not far from us where they play. A little tip of the cap by Parker Bohn III. Later today, PJ Singh, Tiger Woods, Great Field Battle at Plantation Course in Maui, Hawaii. Final round of the PGA Tour's 2005 kickoff event, the Mercedes Championships. Later today, 7 o'clock Eastern Time here on ESPN. For more, log on ESPN.com. There's the leaderboard. PJ Singh starting where he left off, end of last half of the season. Boy, was he ever good that first year. Taking over the top ranking, all that money as well for PJ.
Well, I think Randy would give him a run for his money, though, from what I heard.
You guys are about scratch golfers. Now, come on, I know that. You probably could.
No. I'd give him a run for his money if he gave me 5 aside, I think. I'd need 10 shots from him. Parker Bohn taking serious advantage of that trip 2-pin. Instead of going double spare strike, he's got 4 in a row.
All right, Leslie is here as well with their 2 young sons. They travel in the motorhome from tour stop to tour stop. Justin's 20 months old, Brandon 5 months old. And Parker also has 2 sons who live in Nashville, Tennessee. Parker, the 4th, and Evan, 15 and 12 years old. They're watching today. That was light. And a split. 1-2-10.
And it's just a bad shot off his hand. Looks fast, and a lot of times when you're swinging the ball and it looks fast, it's because you just missed it at the bottom. Since you don't have as much power in the ball actually starts to hydroplane and goes faster down the lane. Get the ball over into here, slide the 2 into the 10.
Can he convert? Didn't like it as soon as he released it. You could hear that nope from Norm Duke. So Tom Caniati was a commissioner's exemption pick this week from Fred Fryer, our PBA commissioner. And there's Tom on the bottom. 64th place finish, but as we saw, Randy did very well this week too. Congrats to Randy. Good experience for you?
It was a blast.
Yeah.
Of course, when you don't have your expectations to finish in anything higher than that, I had an absolute blast just watching the way these guys throw and how accurate they really are. It was amazing.
Well, I know the PBA bowlers really appreciate hosting those guys overnight at the great steak dinner you took for Mika. Thanks for joining us, Candy. Great to see you again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Former big league pitcher Tom Candiotti here in Mesa, Arizona. We have more coming up.
You know, you have a great story.
The PBA on ESPN is brought to you by GEICO. You too could save 15% or more on car insurance. Call GEICO at 1-800-947-AUTO. By Uniroyal Tires, the official tire of the PBA Tour. Uniroyal Tires, trusted by American families since 1892. And by Jackson Hewitt, where you get all the credits and deductions you deserve and fast, accurate, electronically filed tax returns. Welcome back, everyone, to the Valley of the Sun. We're happy to report it's finally sunny after rain here most of the week in the greater Phoenix area. Sometimes, in bowling, speed kills. Parker Bohn, a perfect example. Randy explains in this week's Dexter Approach.
It sure does kill Dave Ryan, and what Parker Bohn had to do was he had to find a way to get softer with his speed. So what did he do? He moved up on the approach about 8 inches. Second, got his feet to angle this way at the start to square his hips up. Now watch this. Even though it's in slow-mo, you can see a nice, softer delivery for Parker Bohn III. The reason why he had to get his ball to read the middle of the lane better. Well, he's found the secret. Now all he needs is a little bit of confidence.
Told us last night that he first got that idea and the adjustment going a month before the fall swing. Our season started. Rev rate is adjusted, much softer, as you said, in the Dexter Approach with his hand. He is adjusting his career advances. Yeah! And another strike, 5 in a row. 40-pin lead for Parker Bohn III after the tough start.
Watch it, 3/4 of the way down the lane, and then it starts to go right. That's what I mean by reading the lane, creating friction. His old style, Parker Bohn likes to be really firm. His ball speed being much higher, his ball would blow right through that spot. And then once he made an adjustment off of it or tried to go a little bit straighter, it would break loose down the lane and go high.
I give a lot of credit to Parker Bohn III, Hall of Famer. He's won all these tour titles, but he still takes the input and advice from bowlers like you out there on tour. He's still coachable. To make adjustments he's got to make, 5-pin up.
See, and, you know, over the years, when Parker Bohn was dominating out here, you wouldn't see him throw a shot like this on television. He is still in transition. He told us last night he's only about 80-85% with his new way. But I agree with you. It takes an awful lot for him to overhaul his game like this. But you know what, Dave? It was either that or retire.
Yeah. 22 events without a TV show. Last time, Philadelphia, 2003. You like that better, as you heard very clearly. To get here, Jason Couch went down at 6. Jason Hurd, who has won this year, his first tour title, Wichita, went down in 6 games in the round of 8. And Parker told us last night, likes the new format. The 2 7-game blocks in the round of 64, the fans can really absorb so much, take in all their favorite bowlers at one time. Back to Norm Newton.
Much
perfect shot.
You know, the other thing that Parker said about the new format that was very interesting was that even if you're bowling bad, you can use the 14 games for practice on a tough PBA pattern.
Speaking of tough, Norm Newton has overcome some unbelievable injury problems. Missed almost half the season last year with a quad strain and then a pinched nerve in his neck. Just after the Masters in Milwaukee, had some injections between the C3, C7 vertebrae. As he gets help, 5-pin trips, anything to ease the pain. He said last year, Randy, in making the 3 shows, he looks back at that perhaps being his best performance because he overcame so much pain.
I agree. I watched him week in and week out. Norm and I live in the same city back home in Florida. I knew what he was going through, how much pain he was in, and the struggles it was. He couldn't even practice, let alone bowl competitively on tour.
Shot. Come on.
Wow.
Parker like that ball right off the release, no doubt about it. Special thanks, Martha Furness, GEICO Assistant Vice President. Glad to have them with us. And the GEICO Gecko on the commercials seems so much smaller.
He's tiny, but tonight there's a 6-footer in the crowd. He's huge.
Crocodile Randy comes out unannounced.
Yep. And it looked like he was losing this lane. He went high. Well, he threw a marginal shot and went Brooklyn at the 5-pin. And then when he shot the 5-pin, it was still high and he liked it. This shot he liked and it went high. Situation is simple. He needs to convert. With a conversion here, Parker Bohn can strike out to shoot 236. Norm Duke can strike out 9th and 10th, 237.
Parker told us last night his confidence level, as you mentioned, 80-90% range to where he wants it to be with his revamped style. And now Norm Duke has overcome incredible injury adversity. Actually had a heart rate shutdown in one of his treatments where he needed to be revived by his doctors. He was getting the injections with some adrenaline. Passed out. Pretty scary moment, he said.
Look out.
Oh! A-pin.
Let me just tell you, that's probably the worst break that could ever happen to a professional bowler. And I know it firsthand. This leave right here, Norm Duke's going to leave the Stone 8. It just takes the wind right out of you. Like somebody cutting you off at the knees. Threw it absolutely perfect. He knew what he had to do. He knew if he struck out, there was no way he could lose. Now, he needs help from Parker Bohn to win. His best right now, 216. Parker Bohn the third, going at a 226 pace as Norm Duke is retaping.
That was a great shot. Give me 2 more. Come on.
With the tour back in full swing, PBA.com remains your best source to purchase tickets for all PBA events, and beginning Tuesday for one of the tour's most prestigious events, the Denny's World Championship, going on sale, PBA.com. Also at the Eastern Michigan University box office, Ypsilanti, Michigan. Log on today. Perfect shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, that takes a lot of maple moxie to step up and make a shot this good after you just got kicked right in the stomach.
He fights to the finish.
You heard him say it, Dave. Fight to the finish.
Rack. Never mind.
Expect nothing different from Norm Duke. That's why he is a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. That's why he's won 21 titles.
Fight to the finish.
Never gives up. 10-pin.
I think Norm says it best here, where he leaves this ring in 10 after going strike solid 8, and he says, "What do you want from me?"
He battled. And now Parker Bohn III, who has gone 50 events of his great career without a win, has several times had to revamp his style to try to get back to this point. Now just needs a minimal count by his standards. Just 6. He'll take 10 en route to the final. He and Miko will go head-to-head for the championship. Now the PBA GEICO Open, Mesa, Arizona.
Right now, Parker wishes he had one more shot on the left lane.
I know it's early, but I'll make sure I got another Christmas card for you.
Wow. That's a nice thing to say, especially after his opponent just went solid 8, ring and 10 to lose.
Great finish. Parker Bohn the third.
Great game.
Great game, man.
He's to the final.